Hey everybody, this is Doug from Meltdown Games here, and I'm here to walk you through a two-player game with my buddy Ben.
Hello.
We're going to show you the whole thing, and this way you'll get to see an entire game of Gothic Doctor played all the way through. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up the waiting room. So we're going to put our first two patients out, a bite victim and Roderick Usher. So now, because of the types of patient that those guys are, one of the specialist bonuses is going to be the vampire, and one of them is going to be madness. Now what this means is, if a player treats at least 3 of those kinds of patients, and has treated the most of those kinds of patient, they get 150 extra pounds at the end of the night. So now we're going to go ahead and fill in the rest of the waiting room. Spectre, the mummy, Mr. Hyde, a witch, and another witch. Alright, next we are going to deal out our starting hands. So that's going to be 1 action card face down for each player, and then 6 treatment cards face down for each player. So these will be our hands. Now we put 3 treatment cards face up, and that's the medical library. So we have facial reconstruction, exorcism, and opiates. All right. So, I am sorry, it took a second there to organize my cards. So I'm not able to treat on this first turn, so I am going to take my 2 extra draws, and what that means is that I can actually treat this turn. Look at that, too hasty. So I'm going to treat a bite victim using a bandage removal and an herbal remedy. So I take that over here, comes into my cured pile, I discard those 2 treatment cards, and now I'm going to take my draws to get up to 7. So I am going to draw an facial reconstruction and replace that card. Now I would love to draw that panacea, but I can't because that requires 1 extra draw, so I have to draw blind because I don't want either of those other 2. Alright, I'm done, and it's Ben's turn.
Alright, so I actually have a little bit of options here. And this will come in more to a little bit of the tactics. So I can either choose to draw up and take that panacea, which is tempting, or I can try to treat right now and get some early points. I'm actually going to treat right now. I'm going to take the Spectre here, because I've got the Holy Water, and I've got the Exorcism. So he's coming home with me. And we bring out a Mad Scientist. I've got 5 cards in my hand, so I've got 2 draws. I could try blind, but I will not. I'm actually just going to take this Panacea, which counts as both of my draws, and my turn's going to go, it's going to end.
Alrighty. I am going to drop the clock on the waiting room since I played first because I was the last person to see a doctor. So it's now 8 p.m. And I am going to play an action card, which is please come back later. That gets rid of the entire waiting room. And hopefully the new waiting room will be a little bit more favorable. I guess it's always possible I could have treated one of those and I just wasn't paying attention, but too late for that now.
So we got 2 lab assistants, a Mad Scientist, a Banshee, the Bride of Dracula, a bite victim, and an asylum patient.
Alright, so I like the looks of that quite a lot better. I am going to do what I did last time. Again, I am going to treat the bite victim with a bandage removal and an herbal remedy. I was frustrated when I started the game with 2 of those in my hand, but now, gotta say, it's looking pretty good. Just goes to show you. Alright, so I have 4 cards. I treated a patient, so I'm drawing up to 7. That's my target number. I'm going to take an exorcism. I am going to take an opiates. And I am going to take a good shave. And my turn is over. It's Ben's turn.
All right, let's look over my hand. I'm checking out my options as we go. And So just allow me a moment. I'm looking up here, and I'm deciding whether to play my action card. And I think I am. So we're actually cycling through a lot. I'm going to play Reschedule, so that's going to look at the top 3 cards of the patient pile. And I can replace up to 2 guys out there. So, alright. I should kind of like this. So what I'm going to do, it sounds a bit strange, but I'm going to replace the mad scientist with Dracula. So he gets replaced. And
We're not friends anymore, by the way.
That's fine.
Because of that.
Yeah. And this may seem kind of strange in a moment, but I'm going to replace the Bride of Dracula with the lab patient. As you know, you can't have 3 of the same kind out at the same time, so they get discarded, and we get a new monster. Now I actually get to go ahead and treat. Taking a look. So between the vampire and the madness, I'm not. Fortunately, I can't treat anything this round, but that's okay because I can draw and bolster my hand and make everything super nifty for next round. So I'm gonna go ahead. I've got 5 hands, 5 cards, so I get to drop up to 9.
Yep.
So that's 6, 7.
Oh,
this goes away. I need that. No, I don't. So I've got 7. I still get to drop to 9, so I'll take 2 blind draws. And we're just gonna go ahead, discard a good shave. What is the other thing I can get rid of? Actually, I'm going to get rid of the other good shave because it's the least helpful in my hand at the moment. So I'm going to kick it back to Doug.
All right, so move the counter down on that, so it's now 9 p.m. Now, normally, I wouldn't use opiates and panacea to just treat a 50-pound monster, but because of the specialist bonus of madness, I definitely want to get that and definitely want to keep Ben from getting that. So I am going to take that. After he got rid of my mad scientist on me before, I'm out for revenge, and that's just great. Another asylum patient. So I am going to take the holy water as one of my draws, and I would love to draw that panacea, but it wasn't meant to be. So I am going to take a silver pin acupuncture, replace that, and it's Ben's turn.
All right. So with all this stuff, yeah, I do have options. I'm happy. So we're gonna take a look at this banshee right here. We have the exorcism, we have the facial reconstructor, and we have the holy water. So I'm gonna put those away. I'm gonna take her. So 4 cards. I get 3 draws now. Let's replace the monster first. So now I can see what I might want to get. All right, not too bad. Not too bad. So why don't I go ahead and I'll take the trepanation. It's the first of my draws. And as the last 2, I'm just going to pick up the panacea and put the opiates back onto play. Now it's back to Doug.
All right, so I'm going to move the counter down to 10 p.m. since it's the 3rd round. And I am going to treat this poor little lycanthrope here with silver pin acupuncture and a good shave. So he pops over into my cured pile. Haven't treated a lot of high value patients, but I have treated a lot of patients, and that makes me happy. So I am going to take this here opiates, put that in there, 2 facial reconstructions, so we get rid of one of those. We have an herbal treatment, and I am going to take the herbal treatment. And there's another herbal treatment. And it's Ben's turn.
Okay, I have 6 cards. I'm deciding what I want to do. I'm actually going to slightly switch up my strategy a little bit, and I'm going to draw up to 9. That's not really much of a switch, but I'm actually going to take an action card this round. And I'm going to take the herbal remedy. And so that brings me up to, I've got 8 currently, so I'll draw 1 more treatment card, and then I will drop it down. So let's see, how many cards do I have? I have 9. 2, 3, 4. Yes, so let's get rid of some of these. So I'm getting rid of a bandage removal. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the realignment of the humors. And now we'll send it back to Doug.
All right, I'm going to move the counter down to 11 p.m. So that means we are going into, I believe, our 5th round here. I am going to treat the Spectre with an Exorcism and a Holy Water. So discard those, take him into my cured pile. All right, now I am going to take my 2 draws. One of those is going to be a realignment of the humors. And one of those is going to be an action card. And it's Ben's turn.
All right. So thanks to all my fun drawing, I have my pick of the litter, shall we say. And so I'm going to play, let's take Dracula himself. So we've got the Silverpin Acupuncture. Moment. We've got the herbal remedies. I don't have Fang Extraction, but I do have a Panacea, a second Panacea to fill out the rest. So Dracula's going to come home on this side. And Boogeyman comes up. So I have 3 cards in my hand, so I get to draw back up to 7, which is good. I like the bandage removal. I like the Panacea for 2. So I only get 1 more draw. Which, unfortunately, another Panacea came out. Oh well.
Don't worry, I'll get it next turn.
Yeah. Oh, that makes me feel so much better. Okay. And I'll just take what was left in the deck. So I have 6 cards, but I drew Panacea from the up deck, so that's the end of my draws. It's now back to Doug.
All right, so for my action phase, I am going to play a Consultation. That lets me look at Ben's hand and take something that's not an action card and not a Panacea.
Okay. So I have to show you the whole thing?
Yes.
All right, so why don't you take a look at that.
So the nice thing is I get to see what he has in here, what he's working with. And so I am going to draw. Let's see what I have and what I want. I am going to take that one, give those back to him.
That makes sense.
Discard that. I'm going to do a realignment of the humors and a facial reconstruction to get a lab assistant.
There you go.
Discard those, and now I have. Oh right, I forgot to move the clock down. So it's midnight. So I get 2 draws. I am going to use them. I changed my mind about that Panacea. I'm just going to take 2 blind, and it's Ben's turn.
Okay. Well, thanks to Doug's last turn, I am down to 5 cards, limiting my options even further. So I may have to draw up this round for the sake of next round. Nothing wrong with that. So I've got 5 cards I can draw up to 9, so that'll give me 4 draws.
Right.
So 2 of those 4 draws will be this Panacea right here.
Very nice.
And so I've got 2 draws left. And I think I'm just going to take them both blind. 1, 2. Okay. And so what's happening here? That's fine. And what can I discard? So I can get rid of this bandage removal. And I'm down to 7 cards. So my turn is over and it's back to Doug.
All right, I am going to move the clock to 1 a.m., not forget this time. And I am going to treat an asylum patient.
Okay.
With that opiates and trepanation.
Good move.
So he comes over into my cured pile, discard those cards. And I am going to take my draws. I'm going to draw one action card and one treatment card. And it's Ben's turn.
All right. Well, friends, thanks for watching me draw so many turns, but it has paid off because I have a Fang removal and nothing else except 3 Panaceas. So,
which is something.
yes, drawing does pay off. So I'm going to take the Bride of Dracula, which is very nice. I'm quite pleased about that. And I'm down to 3 cards, which gives me 4 draws. So that's pretty great. I'm not seeing a whole lot of things I like on the board here. So I'm actually going to take 4 blind draws. And that will conclude my turn.
All right, I am going to move us into the 2 a.m. hour, so we have 4 rounds left.
Right.
So on my turn, I am going to play Please Come Back Later. Thumb my nose at all the patients in here.
No.
Discard all of them.
That's a good move, though.
And move them over here. Replace them with all new patients. So we have a werewolf, 2 lycanthropes, 2 demons, another werewolf, and an asylum patient.
I haven't seen 2 demons at the same time.
Never seen 2 demons on the board at the same time. It's a scary thing. So, I'm still not able to help any of these poor, unfortunate souls. So I am going to take my draws. An exorcism, opiates, and 1 blind. All right, so I have 9 cards now. I'm going to discard a holy water, and I am going to discard an herbal remedy, and it's Ben's turn.
All right. So if I take a moment, it's only because I have a decision to make, and that's what I'm doing. I'm mulling over things. So I don't mean to slow everything down. I just have to look over some stuff. Okay. Very interesting. Not super helpful at the moment. It's still very interesting. So, do I want to play this with myself? No, I do not. I apologize.
That's all right.
In a moment.
When you're playing the game, you have to, play carefully. If there's more than one thing you can do, you have to see what's going to be the best long term.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta look at the options. Also, we got a whole completely new board.
Right.
So that's throwing me off a little. So I have the option of playing defensively if I talk tactically out loud.
Sure.
Now, you can see Doug has 2 madness cards, which is one of the bonuses. So I could attempt to treat the asylum patient so he can't get it.
I would obviously prefer if you didn't do that.
Right. Because that's a huge bump in his score. The most powerful monster to betray my hand that I can treat on the board is probably the werewolf. I can't actually treat either the demons yet, but they have the same requirements anyway. So I'm just talking out loud a bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play defensively first, and then I'm going to take the werewolf. So as much as he will dislike me, Doug must go back to med school.
Okay.
That may actually end up helping him, but it is what it is.
It in fact did not. I had the stuff to treat the asylum patient, but that's the game, folks.
Yeah, but you could in fact get it again.
So I'm going to take what Back to Med School does is it basically forces me to get a brand new starting hand. And so I discard all of my cards and start over again.
Right, so all I'm going to do here is, I'm against my better judgment, I'm going to take the werewolf and use 2 Panacea to do it. So I have a good shave and 2 Panacea, so he comes over here and is replaced with an asylum patient. Okay. Bully for me. I'm just going to draw 4 cards blind, and let's see how that pans out. And my turn is over.
All right, with all those new cards, I am not able to do anything, but I can move the clock down one, and I can make Ben's life a little bit more difficult.
Great.
So the next patient he treats is going to be a tough case. It's going to take one extra treatment card of the required treatments for that patient. So if he wanted to treat the asylum patient, he would need 2 opiates and 1 trepanation, or 2 trepanations, or an extra panacea card.
Right.
So he'll keep that in front of him to remember the gift that I gave him there, out of my love for him.
Yes.
And I can't treat, so I'm going to draw. So I'm going to take a good shave, and I have 2 draws left, so I'm going to take the panacea. Then I am going to discard. I'm going to get rid of let's see, I'm going to get rid of a bandage removal, and I'm going to get rid of a fang extraction, and it's Ben's turn.
All right. Now, because of the tough case, I'm in a little bit of a more difficult situation, which is fine. I can sort that out. So I've got 7 cards. I'm actually going to draw up to 9. Just the nature of the game. So I'm going to take an action card and align one of these bad boys. Good, good, good. And I get to... I'm going to get rid of a holy water and an exorcism. And I'm back down 7 cards. And that's going to end my turn, but it should help me next round.
All right, so 4 AM, it's my next to last turn, and this means that any cards I draw on this turn are the last ones I'm going to get to use to play in the game. So I have to be careful and do as much as I can to get to draw as many cards as I can this turn, which is pretty much the case every turn, but especially important now. Best thing I can treat on the board is the werewolf, so I'm going to treat him with a good shave, get that fur off, silver pin acupuncture, and fang extraction. Discard those cards, bring him over here, put another patient up there.
Okay.
Alrighty, so now I have 4 draws, because I have 3 cards in my hand, because of that panacea I drew last time. So I'm going to take a realignment of the humors. I'm going to, I am going to take that panacea, and so I get 1 more draw. I am going to take a card blind, and it's Ben's turn.
All right, so first things first, my last round did help me, and the action card is definitely going to help me, so I'm going to hit the books and take 3 cards. Those were all blind, if I'm not mistaken, or they're just 3.
No, hit the books is just 2 draws, so you can take them face up or down.
Oh, I can.
Whatever you want.
Okay, that's not so bad then. So I will take the trepanation, and I will draw 1 blind. And then I get to discard them, yes? So,
Yeah, hit the books is one of those action cards that's changed over the course of our developing this game. The current play test deck that's available for you online for print and play on meltdowngames.com has that updated and has that fixed, so it explains exactly what to do with it. This is an older deck. When we had printed, it was our most current at that time.
So, unfortunately, I'm in a bit of a tough spot because of tough case, but I still have enough to treat the asylum patient with 2 trepanations and a panacea.
There you go.
I'm sure he doesn't appreciate the extra hole in his head, but that's all right. And
whatever it takes.
Yeah, as long as it works. And we do draw because we have 1 more round after this?
Yes.
Okay. So I have to pay careful attention on what to draw. I'm gonna... That may come in handy, it may not. I'm actually just gonna draw 4 here. 2, 3, and what am I looking at? 4, and I'm good.
All right. 5 AM, sunrise is rapidly approaching, so the patients are going to have to head on back to their dwellings to stay safe. So it's the last turn. I am going to treat the Satanist to complete my Madness Specialist bonus.
No.
And that's going to be 1 panacea. That's going to be another panacea. And you know what? I'm just going to show off here because that's who I am. Another panacea. Luck of the draw there on those blind ones I took before. So I'm going to treat her, and that's going to get me the madness bonus. All right.
Patient.
So I am going to draw 1 from the action deck, and then 3 from here. Not that it matters, but that way we can do it.
Right. Fortunately, my last draw was not nearly as lucky as Doug's, but that's okay. So, as sad as it is, I think I'm actually going to have to call it on this turn, because I was hoping something not madness related came up after you cured something.
Sorry, buddy.
It cannot be helped. Actually, I was hoping for a vampire more than anything.
Sure.
But it is what it is, and that is the game.
Alrighty. So Ben and I are going to count up our scores here real quick. I have 700.
I have 600.
Okay. So, actually a pretty close game because of the legends he treated. And I was treating the lower ones. I was shooting for the generalist bonus and didn't quite get there because I couldn't get that reanimated treated at the end.
As you can see, the bonuses make a big difference.
Big difference in the game, yeah.
So he pulled ahead by 100 with a 150-pound bonus.
Right.
So they really are worth going for in terms of strategy as far as I'm concerned.
Right. Yeah, if I hadn't been able to get that bonus on that last turn, it would have been Ben's game. And that's how it goes. So, hope you enjoyed watching us play through here. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments or to email us at info@meltdowngames.com. Thanks for watching.